Listen up, you beautiful bastards. I'm Insipid, and this is Trove. Hope you're all doing quite nicely. Not our usual thing, right? New show type? Huh? I do want you guys to let me know how you think of it. If you guys have some opinions, please feel free to toss those in at the bottom during the comment area down there, right? Right down there. Go for it, please. But otherwise, I wanted to go ahead and just keep talking to you. Just finished recording the last one, and honestly, just getting all of that out of me felt really good. There are many ways of engaging in, therapy for oneself. Journaling is one of my favorites, and I highly recommend it. Oh, I should have mentioned that during the thing. I'll put it in the description, right? I'll do that. Probably do that. Hopefully I'll do that. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today with this one is two ideas. One, kind of the history of the channels, just kind of like what got me started, and then secondly, discouragement and what it feels like when you feel disheartened and the thought of stopping or giving up kind of creeps in. And it's always been my philosophy for the channels. It's that the people who stopped are the people who don't make it. I did it early. No! There we go. Irony, I guess. It's the idea that if you go long enough, if you keep going, left, right, left, with time, you will arrive. And that does beg the question, what is a rival? What is success? By many measures, especially by measures of my own at the beginning, I've already succeeded. Yeah, okay. Early, no, awesome. Hey, Shasta, appreciate it, but we're busy. Yeah, finger guns. And so they're kind of tied together, both the start and the thoughts of closing up shop. I'm not even gonna clickbait this. I'm not even gonna make the title like, is Insipid closing down his channels? No. No. Insipid is talking about 2 years ago? Sounds about right. I was working as a behavior therapist, and an incredibly fulfilling job. Oh man, and the pay per hour was great, but I couldn't get enough hours. I couldn't get enough hours to make it work, and I was bleeding money. I had an amount in savings, but it was, enough to make the current system last another couple years. If I was very stingy and very careful. And I'm incredibly frugal. So, I can make stuff work like that, but if it's not sustainable, don't sit on your heels. So, I was bemoaning the circumstance to my master, and I was like, I feel very bad and dumb and silly that I can't make this work. I can't contribute like this. This is not a sustainable system. To which she replied, well, what are you doing about it? Talk about some tough love. I reeled from that. I was knocked back. I was emotionally hit, because that's someone you care deeply about, right? And then they're like, yeah, what are you doing? So, hey, that's nice. That's nice. You're using some nice words there. What are you doing? And so that can be a theme of this particular episode as well. What are we all doing to further our goals? There are things we can be doing right now as part of our objectives. We have these dreams, we have these aspirations. But what's our plan? And if we do have a plan, what item of the plan are we working on right now? It's fine to say, yes, tomorrow I will begin writing and practicing that all again, which is something I should really be doing more of. And what are you doing? What are you doing about it? And there's no shame. There's no shame in not doing it, but there has to be an acceptance, a knowledge in oneself that if there is not action, there is not any movement. You will not be able to move without action. Action is required. It's obligatory, even. And so, from that, having been properly flabbergasted, I sat down, took up my, my mediums, and just got started. I'd already done a number of small things. I had already set up the accounts, if I recall, but I hadn't used them. I was trying to prepare. As a matter of fact, I don't think I even had the camera yet. But I knuckled down, I bought the equipment, and just got started. And like the first thing I started streaming was Hearthstone, because it was a really popular game to stream, and I liked Hearthstone, and so I just started there. And here's a quick lesson for everyone who's getting started in streaming. Unless you have already a following on some other medium, if you haven't already developed your network, don't expect anyone to be there for the first couple months. It is a slow and arduous process of building a following on any platform. And you have to work for it. You can't buy it. So that's just something to keep in mind that's my piece of advice for future streamers. Be patient. Don't expect it to work out overnight. Now, my first 5 followers, oh man, felt good. Felt real good. And then first it was 5, then it was 40, and I was calculating in my head, what is my rate of growth right now? And those early numbers is pretty insane, because it's like, if you go from 1 to 2, that's 100% growth. You go to 2 to 4, that's 100% growth. If you go 4 to 8, that's 100% growth. And it can very, very quickly become like, oh man, I've doubled my following this many times in this many weeks. And then, okay, so calm down, Charlie. It's fine. Just take a nice deep breath. It's gonna be good. It's the long term. Oh, did I do that? Oh, I did it early. It's the long term. Be patient. Because if I was looking at the growth of the channels, first year broke 1,000, second year broke 5,000, and if that is the general measure of growth, then you need to make sure you're keeping in mind it takes years. Be patient. But there have been multiple times where I was disheartened. Thoroughly. You go to one of the big streamers, right? And I did. I still do. And I do that to study. I study them. I try and understand what makes you a good streamer. What makes you a successful streamer. And I would, in some cases, calibrate my own style. In other cases, I would mimic their style. Ultimately, you come to a kind of a conglomeration that is your own sense of panache. And hey, good. That's how it works. But you still end up feeling like, I'm putting in all this work, I'm putting in all this time. What for? Pregnant pause. That silence right there, that was important. Because that, you just feel that empty moment. And you go, I could be doing other things. I could be doing things that make me more money. I could be doing things that will advance a career. And I would be lying if I haven't declined opportunities. Streaming and YouTube has been very, very important to me. I love what I get to do with you guys. Playing games with you is an esteemed pleasure. getting to edit videos and share them with you guys, magnificent. Couldn't be happier. And it is those moments where I remind myself that it's not about money. It's not about my bank account. It's not about getting to have nice things. It is, in the end, about developing this community and playing with you guys, making this fulfilling for me in the long haul. And I hope that you guys can appreciate the importance of that. Not on my end, on your end. If you're going to find something to occupy yourself with, an occupation, as it were, have it be fulfilling. My long-term goal, it's still to make this my job. Long-term goal, become, the best streamer, best YouTuber on the internet, and make amazing content for you guys. But the person who started these channels 2 years ago is not the person who's making that content. That person started, I'm going to argue, in a big way for the wrong reasons. But I think that he learned a lot, and he's a better person for it. I mean, definitely say that he's a happier person for it. Because you guys have been an absolutely amazing part of my life. And I hope to one day get to thank all of you personally. But until then, it's been real. It's been fun. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Take care, everybody.